Whereas in the studio, I've got I do a one camera shoot instead of a two camera shoot because it's just an update.
Yeah.
But this way, it's like content is constantly going out, and once people find you, then they go to you. I mean, they want to. Well, what's he say about this? What's going on? Is Marzulli keeping up with what's happening in the Middle East, or what's happening with Trump, or the New World Order, or UFOs, or the Nephilim? I mean, all these things tie back into the biblical prophetic narrative, and of course, that's what we're interested in: is the second coming of the Messiah, when Jesus returns, and we're all creation groans and waits that day.
Science, the supernatural, biblical prophecy, global events that threaten to rattle the very foundation of human existence. Critical examination of the most important issues facing today's modern world. Welcome to the Sharpening Report.
Hello from chilly St. Louis, your dedicated and excited host of the Sharpening Report and Cross-Examinations, James DeWitt here. And I am excited to actually bring you an update. I've been very busy over November, handling a lot of domestic, boring stuff that we all have to do. But also I've been very hard at work. Doing back-to-back interviews, working on projects, planning things for both cross-examinations and the Sharpening Report. I've got a load of interviews that I'm ready to release before and through the new year, as well as more, which I'm taking a break from interviewing I believe I have one more person that I have to get, and I'm actually going to keep that for a surprise. But after that, I'm taking a break until right after New Year's, and I'll get back to it. But I am going to be constantly at work still on editing some things and getting them out, putting some additional material in, and my own personal editing touches on those things. And I have a big surprise for you today. So thanks for hanging in there with me. And that is, I have a first-time event that I would like to announce that I've been working on. It's complete now. It's a three-parter because it was so huge. I wanted to make sure that it was well covered, and we may resume this special project in the new year, depending on your interest. So if you like what I'm about to announce and you check it out once it's released, please give me your feedback. Give everybody your feedback. Like it, subscribe to it, do everything you can just to let us know and support it, and it will continue. What it is a first-time thing in fringe Christian broadcasting, as far as I know, is a women's roundtable. You know, there's a lot of great women out there who have been out there for years. I've been watching, and you know, I've seen them go through a lot of stuff, and a lot of times pretty much on their own. And these women have gone through it. They bit the bullet, and continued as God prospered them through diversity and success and things like that. And you know what? I think they need some acknowledgement, and I just think it's really, really cool to see them sitting at the same table, some of these people, and to see them interact, some of your favorites. I'll give you a hint. I won't tell you all of them, but the final one we just wrapped up tonight. We sat with Laura Maxwell and Lisa Haven. Man, that was a blast. So be sure to check that out. The very first one that's going to be released, I'm going to leave it as a surprise, and you can look for that this week. And that will continue to be released weekly through the new year. And depending on your response, this will be a return event on the Sharpening Report under me. I will do it again, but I tell you what, I am hoping that this actually starts a trend too. I want it to be copied. I want it to be a new thing that goes on, because more than half of my viewers are women. I look at this as statistics, and I just think you guys need some acknowledgement. And it's just like I said, it's just so great to sit back. I'll tell you this: when I was a young guy in school, uh, I noticed that I was a little different from some of the other guys in this sense. When it came to girls, I mean, I always liked girls, but when I was an only child, I didn't have a sister. So when I wanted to know more about girls, there was this bunch of guys my age or a little older standing around talking, yeah, let me tell you about girls and so on, yada yada. And it just didn't make sense to me to go to them when there's a bunch of girls over there. So I just always, if I want to know about girls, I go to a girl. And my whole point is, man, it's great to sit back and listen to them interact and share things, and just tell what it's like to be, um, and you read in the Bible about the virtuous woman, or the woman of virtue. Um, and in Jesus' day, my goodness, it must have been a challenge. But what about today, when this image is hammered into society of what it seems to be almost the exact opposite? So I imagine it's even more difficult, but the Lord is even more there and ready to support and help the image that He created. He designed and created the female, the bride. Um, Adam, when he opened his eyes, he saw something that had never existed before outside of him, and he said, "Here now is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh." And you know what? It says that when Jesus returns and we see Him, that we will be like Him. And then He can say, "Here now is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh," the bride of Christ. So I hope that you ladies enjoy that, but I also hope you guys check this out too. Why? Didn't you just hear me before? If you want to know about women, the best thing to do is listen to women. And as far as you ladies too, I got to throw that in there. Put down your Cosmo. Ask your friend or your husband. That's a much better deal. Because the lady writing the article, she probably, whatever she does know, you probably don't want to know, because she works at Cosmo anyway. So that kind of tells you. But anyway, it was really a cool blast. As far as other stuff, I have a lot of interviews. Some of you guys know about some of the interviews because I put out there for viewer questions. Going back with Sarah Brown, Chief Joseph Riverwind, and quite a few others. I don't want to give the whole list because I'm scared I might miss somebody. But I am wanting to release these along the way through the holidays and New Year's, and put in a few extras so we can a little bit give these interviews some pizzazz and style, a la James DeWitt, and hope you guys really like that. And also, as far as cross-examinations, when I first came into this is an opportunity I felt where I could. I love hosting a guest, but cross-examinations gives me a chance to focus on topics, and not have to step on someone's toes, or we can just completely focus on this issue or topic or whatever. Everything from extra-dimensional UFOs to the Nephilim to aliens to CERN to pretty much everything under the sun, but with a slightly different perspective. I think there's some fresh outlook on some of these things and information that you may find fresh and new, and certainly it's always interesting to look at the very least. I just like to get rid of the fluff, and if it's not legitimate news, it's something that I tell you I won't touch. If there's something that I deem as bogus, I won't even present it. So there are some people out there, they look at these things because they're so shocking and so amazing They say, oh, that's got to be fake, or that's not real, or even if it's a photograph, oh, that's Photoshop. You know, I just will say, for those who aren't familiar with me, I am my name might be newer to you, but I've been around in the scene for a long time, behind the scenes helping some of the other people in the forefront. But I have been vetting and researching for years. So I'm very careful about what I put out there and put my seal of approval on it and say, either I know or I'm very, very certain that this I feel is legitimate. And I can always get my reasons why too. I can back those up. So I just wanted to put that out there. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. So even on my videos, if you like them or don't like them, either which way, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Just let me know. That actually gives me feedback, and I know what's going on the other end. Just as far as comments though, yeah, I don't like trolls. I like constructive criticism. I really do. But if you get, abusive or so, I haven't really had any trouble like that. But I watch some of my brothers and sisters out here who have some great videos and teachings and stuff like that. And I look at the comments and I'm like, how in the world did they deserve some of the things that are said? But I have a feeling that those comments aren't left by the people who are watching this. Absolutely. But, anyway, I guess that's about it. Except for coming up to right now, the next cross-examinations I will tell you, coming out no later than Sunday, I believe. You can expect something that's very, very, it's potentially big. It's hard to interpret. So I've been talking to my friend Richard Shaw, and Richard brought me some new Torah codes, new Torah tables that deal with the election, deal with Donald Trump, and some very other serious things also mixed in there. And I wanted to make sure this was rushed to him from Jerusalem and from the team there, Rabbi Glazerson and his team. And Richard was saying he's never seen them sort of worked up the way they are now. When they came to him about this particular topic, he'd never seen them in that state before, with that type of urgency. And so I'm going to let him tell you the story and share that Torah table with you. And you're probably saying, well, what is it? What does it say? And well, I truly like to share that right here and now. But the thing is that, that was the whole point in my not just coming out with it and releasing it. It was because I wanted to have a proper, interpretation, explanation for what we're looking at, because it's potentially very serious. So I hope you check that out, coming out this weekend. So anyway, just wanted to say hi to you guys and look forward to seeing your views and getting your opinions. And hopefully you'll let us know what's going on. As far as the Women's Roundtable, please, if this is something that you enjoy after you view it, please show your support and voice it. Give the thumbs up, subscribe, leave the comments, and even contact some of the participants and let them know, hey, that was really, really cool. I want to see more of this stuff, and we will continue. And like I say, I hope that it's a thing that's a new trend. I hope it's copied by other people. I want them to copy this, and I want it to be enjoyed. Why did I decide to host it? Well, I'm writing a book that is based on the actual Bible front to end. It's some elements that the Lord brought out to me and pointed out to me from cover to cover. So I had to break it into 3 parts. I'm still working on it, but the first title in the series is based on Eve. And as I wrapped up the structure for this book and everything, I'm putting the still fleshing it out, as it were, but it's complete up here. And the Lord just put on my heart that this women's conference thing, this round table, is something that people need to see right now. And so that's why I felt perfectly okay with posting it, and I didn't see anyone else stepping up to the plate. So more than half my viewers are females, are ladies, and I really hope you enjoy this. And guys, check it out. You're going to enjoy this too. There's a lot of insight here. So anyway, thank you everybody, and thank you for your continued support. Don't forget to check out the Josh Peck channel on YouTube and the Sharpening Report website, where you can see all those things, videos from also Josh Peck himself and Jake Rahutsky. So everybody have a great week. Shabbat Shalom and God bless. Bye-bye.
Islam is using the animosity between Native people and non-Native people in this country, in the United States, to infiltrate through a back door in this nation. And that's moving to the reservations and saying, your government has not taken care of you.
We'll take care of you.
We'll take care of you. We'll provide propane for your elders so they don't freeze during the winter.
We'll give you free scholarships to school in Turkey, and we'll pay for you and fly you to Turkey to go to school. Yeah, these are some of the things that they're doing. We went to Washington, D.C. We were there with Brigitte Gabriel, who's very outspoken about the infiltration of Islam here.
Her organization, and
Act for America. And when we went to Washington, D.C. and to share some of these things, with Congress and the senators that were there, it's very much happening under the radar. People don't even realize it. Yeah. And on the reservations, you never hear any news. So training camps, infiltrators coming in, there's no safeguards for what's happening on the reservation, and there's no monitoring of what's happening on here. And they're using it. Even ISIS said, and they put out a statement. I posted about it on one of my blogs, where ISIS says we are targeting the First Nations, we are targeting the Native Americans. Interestingly enough, some of the places that have been targeted, especially by the Turkish government, through House resolution bills that have been passed under the guise of economic development. The only stipulation is that it's Muslim companies and Muslim organizations that are coming to the reservations to do this economic development. And by the way, the reservations they're choosing are ones that are next to large bodies of water, and also places that are rich with uranium deposits.
You know that verse in Revelation where the Lord has John take the book out of the angel's hand and eat it?
Eat it, yeah.
And in his mouth it's sweet, and then goes down, it's bitter.
Got bitter in his belly.
Always wondered what's in that book. What's in that book? What's in that book? Why does it have to be consumed and digested and gotten rid of?
Yeah.
And I realized that the quantum computer will never be able to catch up to God, because even though the quantum computer is figuring out every code accurately, he can't figure out what's not. Jesus took some key components of information out of view, out of access, out of the way, out. So it's tucked away, it's put away so that that computer can't access it. And if it can't access it, it cannot solve that code, because part of that code is missing.
We found some deer and elk bones, lots of coyote.
And they will actually string up the coyote.
Yeah, the coyote's weird. The only way I can explain that is a sacrifice. It's weird because they always do it when someone's outside, sometimes during the day, and you'll hear this coyote for 10 to 20 seconds just make a sound that at first we didn't know what animal it was, but we knew something was being tortured. And then same story, we find clumps of hair, never a drop of blood, never, not once. And the first coyote we found was hanging from a tree with its tail wrapped. And the weird thing about it is, I always say he, because I think it's that same one. Well, here the other, ones in the distance, we found different size footprints, but I feel like he's the creep, he's the watcher, Yeah. But he puts them on our side of the property, like just past the fence, almost like it's a gift or something weird. I have a picture of one of the coyotes, and it's just a pelt. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can.
So this is its tail, and it's wrapped around a branch, and this is just its pelt hanging there. No blood or anything, but we heard this one die. Other times,
Wow.
yeah, it's really weird. Other times, I'll find the piles of hair, and the innards are just in a pile, but it's like the blood's been drained from them. There'll just be innards there.
Yeah.
I always go back to when I was on Coast to Coast, and George Norrie asked us to look up his name. And,
Oh wow, yeah.
and because some guy called in at like 10 till 2 in the morning with a question: could the Torah codes be the book of life? And I had asked Gladson about that a couple years earlier because I thought it was. How ironic if the Torah holds all of the names of the people who are in the book of life. They're already encoded in there.
It would not surprise me.
No, it wouldn't me either. It's kind of like a joke on us.
Yeah, I mean,
we're carrying it around all the time, and
this is from the same person who knows how many hairs are on every single person's head ever created.
Well, exactly. So how hard would it be? In fact, Gladson thinks everybody that's ever lived, including some even think like animals and everything, are all encoded in the Torah. There could be billions of combinations in the codes, layers of stuff in there. I mean, I just don't know the whole depth of it, and we'll never know. It's just incredibly, it's just wild.
There is so much prophecy that I think specifically we can see within, Israel, within the Jewish, race. I think that God gave us them, not because they're better, not because they're up here and Christians are down here. That's not the way that the Lord has it set up. We are all in God's eyes, all a part of his body of Christ. But my personal feel about why are they labeled God's people in the Old Testament? It's so everyone can look and see and know that God is God. So we can see fulfillment of prophecy through a specific nation, that we can see things happening, that we would know that God is who he says he is. And I mean, everything, I've written a few things on this, but for example, we have the Jewish diaspora, we have long-term persecution of the Jews. All these things are predicted in the scriptures. Preservation, we know that all these other, what is it, all the Akites, Amalekites, Jesuits, Hittites, Edomites, Canaanites, right? All gone, and yet the Jews still remain. We have them, Israel becoming a nation, them blossoming, their restoration of the Hebrew language. All these things were foretold. Jerusalem being a burdensome stone, the division of the land in Israel, rebuilding of the temple. We know that that's in progress with also the reestablished Sanhedrin. Those are just a pinch. But I think men and women and Christians alike, sometimes we miss that crucial aspect of it because there is a huge rise in anti-Semitism. And so the rise, I know I've heard everything under the sun with this, the Noahic laws and blah, blah, blah. And other people say, they're not the real Jews, it's the Palestinians. Well, there's just so much information regarding I don't think God is the author of confusion. It is, we have the nation of Israel, and those are the prophecies being fulfilled. So just my quick
I'm so glad to have you say those things. So I didn't script anything for us. Just kind of, I always believe in letting the Lord lead, always making room for Holy Spirit to take things. And I'm so glad that you kind of pointed us in that direction, because I completely concur. I agree in every sense of the word. I'm frankly, I'm saying this here so people will stop coming at me with this. What do you think about Israel? What do you think about the Jews? God has them there. He's fulfilled prophecy. He's not going to fulfill prophecy with the wrong instrument. Just think about that. You're second guessing God. I'm not going to join you in that. I'm sorry. So, I love you, my brothers and sisters, but please stop coming at me with those things, because I'm not going to waste my time on it.
Can I add to that, James, please?
Yeah.
I feel that too. And the Bible has, we know the prophecies that anti-Semitism will rise to absolutely horrendous levels. It will, there's no doubt about it. And I think a lot of times what people won't realise is that there is such a lot of propaganda. We know that the whole system is under the Luciferian agenda. We know that the media is biased and puts out, false news, although they might think we are the ones that are propagating fake news. They are so heavily biased, and they hate Israel, they hate the Jewish people, Luciferians and so on. So frequently we are not getting the proper coverage.